Consider the following arrangement that has some missing letters: AB, AB, underscore B, underscore B, C, B, underscore D, C, D, C, D, E, D, underscore D. The missing letters which complete the arrangement are option A, B, C, D. You can see for yourself. See, we have to, in these kind of questions, we always have to identify a pattern. So what is the pattern that we can see here? I'll rewrite this pattern. Sorry about my handwriting. Pretty pathetic, I would say. AB underscore B underscore, I should have planned the width, underscore, anyways, DCD, so on, DCD, CD, ED, underscore D. Here the pattern which I can see from just having an oversight is there is something like AB going on. And if I put a A here, who is going to lose? I'm going to have a AB pattern here. So I'm just going to put it over there, okay? And I can also see that there is some CD thing going on here. See here, CD, again CD. There is some repetitive element. If I put a C over here, then this would be confirmed, CD. So there are two patterns that I have observed, okay, AB and CD. And this missing number is the first missing number, this one, where I got A. In the third missing place I got C. So let's see, here I am having A, and in the third place I am having C. So I will test this option out, test option C out. Okay, I'll just put here A, C. I have already put here, there is a missing one over here, and according to option C it is C. Now there is pretty much more confirmation because I get a BC pattern here, BC, 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 BC and BC. Okay, so option C is the right answer, we already confirmed. But again, if I put this E over here, then I would get D pattern continuing, goes on and so forth. Okay, so let's go to the 16th question. Okay guys, let's go to the next question. The 16th question: let A3BC and DE2F be 4-digit numbers where each letter represents a different digit. Very important point here, different digit greater than 3. Second point, if the sum of the numbers is 15902, then what is the difference between the values of A and D? So basically we have something like A3BC plus DE25 giving us 15902, and we have to take care of two conditions here. The first main condition is that A is not equivalent to B, which in turn is not equivalent to C, which in turn is not equivalent to D, which in turn is not equivalent to E and F. And also A, B, C, D continues, F are all greater than 3. So they will assume values of only, wait a second, they will assume values of only 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and these values won't repeat. You won't have B which is 6 and C also which is 6, okay. Each of these will assume each of these unique numbers. So the way we solve this question is that, I'll write it down again. So A3BC, right? A3BC plus DE2F, and they say it is 15902. Okay, let's go to the units place. When we look at the units place, we come to know that C plus F, the units place of C plus F is equivalent to 2. Now can C and F be 0, 2 or 1, 1? It's not possible because C and F are greater than 3. All the alphabets are greater than C. So what can C plus F be? So this shows us that C plus F is in fact 12, and that is why we get the 2 over here. So what are the different possibilities for C plus F? So I would say 5,7, that's fine. Either of which can be 5 or either of which can be 7. We won't worry about that. Will 6,6 hold good? Not at all, because these are all unique. These alphabets are assigned unique numbers, so that wouldn't hold good. So can 8 and 4 hold good? 8 and 4 bar 4,8, yes, it does hold good. Okay, so I'll write it down in a neat manner here. Okay, C and F is either 4,8 or 5,7. Now let's do this addition. Came to know that C plus F is 12, so we add this 1 in the tens place. That's what you do, right? Say you have something like 37 plus 75. What do? This 2 is over here and you add 1 to the tens place. The same thing I have done here. So if we continue with this addition, then we have 1 plus b plus 2 over here. We get here 0. So can b be equal to minus 3? That's not possible. So what can this b plus 3 be? It can be 10. And then I add this 1 over here at the hundreds place. So if b plus 3 is 10, that would mean that b is equal to 7, which also means that C and F can't be 5 or 7. They have to be 4 or 8. So now I know that C and F can be 4, 8 and b is equivalent to 7. So which are the alphabets for which we don't know the answer? Those are A, D and E. And which are the numbers that are still as unassigned? And those numbers would be 5, 6 and 9. Still we are not able to find the answer because 6 minus 5 is 1, 9 minus 6 is 3 and 9 minus 5 is 4, and all these options are a part of the options. So we'll have to continue our addition again. Let's go back to that addition. Here we also have 1 plus 3 plus E is equivalent to 9, right? Probably I need to write it again, but you get it. 1 plus 3 plus E is equal to 9. I'll write it fresh again. From this we get to know that 1 plus 3 plus E is equal to 9. That is E plus 4 is equal to 9, which means E is equal to 5. So 5 is now already occupied, right? So you cut 5 out and E out. So A and D will occupy 9 or 6, either which ways. We don't worry about that. They are assigned the numbers 6 and 9. Okay. So the difference between 9 and 6 is 3. So the right answer is option, we have come far way along, the option C, 3. Let's go to the 17th question. Two statements S1 and S2 are given below, followed by a question. S1. The question is, are there more than 100 figures in that book? The statement S1. There are not more than 2 figures on any page of a 51-page book. Not more than 2 figures. Statement S2. There is at least 1 figure on every page. Which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements and the question? Option A. Both S1 and S2 are sufficient to answer the question, but neither S1 alone nor S2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. Option B. S1 alone is sufficient. Option C. S1 and S2 together are not sufficient. Or option D. S2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. You see the first statement, they say that there are not more than 2 figures. So you can't have 3 figures, it's not allowed. At the max you can have 2 figures. Okay, so let's assume that we have two figures because that's maximum on every page of the book. Then we will have 51 into 2, that is 104 figures. So the question asks us whether there are more than 100 figures. There is a possibility because the maximum figure is 104. Okay, but it can also be 0, right? Because in the first statement it doesn't say anything about the minimum figures. So if we go by the first statement S1 alone, then the possibility varies from 0 to 104. We can have a minimum of 0 figures or the maximum of 104 figures. So it doesn't answer the question, are there more than 100 figures in the book? Let's go through S2 alone independently. So in these kind of questions, we need to evaluate the statements individually, independent of the other statements. You have to evaluate S1 alone, S2 alone, and if there's S3, then S3 alone. And then you have to use these statements in combination. So when we look at S2 alone, they say that there is at least one figure on every page. Okay, so if there are 51 pages, one figure in every page, so we will have a minimum of 51 figures. But but they have not said what is the maximum limit. So it can vary from 51 to infinity. Okay, suppose in a page you have infinite number of figures. This is just theoretical, you can't actually draw infinite figures. Okay, so infinity into 51 is infinity, and 51 into 1 is 51. So we have the minimum of 51 figures and a maximum of infinite figures. So again, this is not enough for us to answer the question whether there are more than 100 figures. Okay, so now let's take these two statements as a combination, S1 and S2. See, S1 says that there are not more than two figures. So the maximum thing which we derived was 104 max. And the minimum is 51 into 1, at least one figure in every page. So we now know that there are 51 to 104 figures in the entire book, right? Again, we are not able to answer the question. The answer, there can be 103 figures or there can be say 99 figures. If it is 99 figures, then there are less than 100 figures. If it is 103 figures, then it's more than 100 figures. So we are not able to conclude, we are not able to answer the question conclusively. So option C is the right answer. S1 and S2 together are not sufficient to answer the question. Guys, let's move to the 18th question. There are girls, boys, and their overall average marks has been given in English and Hindi. Girls get 9 in English, 8 in Hindi, boys get less, like always, 8 in English and 7 in Hindi, and average of 8.8 and X overall. What is the value of X in the above table? Option A 7.8, option B 7.6, C 7.4 and D 7.2. Here we have full data for this English part. Girls get 9 but the average is 8.8. This value 8.8 is closer to 9 than 8, which shows us that there are more girls in that class, right? So there is a shortcut to solve this. So girls are 9, boys are 8, and the average is 8.8. So you need to take a difference over here and you have to assign it to the other side. 9 minus 8.8 should come here as 0.2, and 8.8 and minus 8, only the difference. You can't have a negative number. 8.8 minus 8, you will get it as 0.8 here. So it has to come in a cross manner like this. Okay, 8.8 minus 8 and 9 minus 8.8 as 0.2. And this is boys and this is the girls, the powerful girls. So the girls by boys, the ratio is equivalent to 0.8 by 0.2, or in other words, shall I say it is 4 by 1 or 4:1. That is, for every 4 girls there's just one boy, but we don't know the number of girls, so we can say it is 4x and number of boys as 1x. Okay, so just instead of x we can take y, because we already have x in the question. So I'll delete it, just write it as y, 4y and 1y. Okay, so the total strength would then be 5y. And what are their scores in Hindi? They're asking the average. What is x? X is the average, overall average marks in Hindi, right? So that would be, girls get 4y into 8 plus boys get 1y into 7. Okay, if you deduct this by the total number, that is 5y, which I have given over here, then that will be equivalent to x, which is 32y plus 7y by 5y. You cut y out, then that will be equivalent to 39 by 5, which is nothing but 7.8, which is your option A. This is option A. Okay, so option A is the right answer. Actually, here, if you solve like this, then it will take a lot of time. So what you need to know here is that the overall average in English tends closer to girls. So girls are more in number. You know that. The value of x will be between 7 and 8. That we know for sure. But it will tend more towards 8, because girls have scored 8. Okay. So if you see the options C and D tend more towards the boys. It is 7.4, 7.2. That won't happen. So if you see option A, that is pretty much close to the girls. It is 7.8, because even if you see the English part, the first column part, 8.8 was pretty close to 9. The score obtained by the girls. So 7.8 should be your answer. You can derive this answer solution in like 10 seconds if you are really observant. But if you are not able to do it, you can do it by the longer method. Let's go to the 19th question. A family of 2 generations consisting of 6 members, P, Q, R, S, T and U, has 3 males and 3 females. There are 2 married couples and 2 unmarried siblings. U is P's daughter and Q is R's mother-in-law. T is an unmarried male and S is a male. Which of the following is correct? A, R is U's husband. B, R is S' wife. C, S is unmarried. Or D, none of the above. So what we need to remember here is that this family has 2 generations. Okay, 3 males and 3 females, 2 married couples and 2 unmarried siblings. So if I have to write it down over here, let's work out all the equations they say, look at all the statements they say. There are actually 2 generations here, first generation and second generation. There's no third generation, so you can't continue with the family tree vertically. And let's work out, and there will be some sons and daughters of the first generation in the second generation. Okay, I'll just remove it. This is just for your understanding I have drawn. So firstly they say that U is P's daughter. Okay, so I would have over here U as P's daughter. So U is a female and U comes out from P. That means P is a married couple, is a part of a married couple and belongs to the first generation. This is the first generation, and U belongs to the second generation. Okay, we don't know P's gender yet, and Q is R's mother-in-law. So we have Q somewhere. Q also belongs to the first generation, and Q is also married. Okay, so because Q is married and belongs to the first generation, Q can be the wife of, Q should be the wife of P. So Q is F and P is male, and they both have another kid who is in turn married to R. Okay, we don't know who is that kid yet. T is an unmarried male. T may be an unmarried male, but T also has to come out from this married couple. So we already have two married couples here, that is PQ and R's spouse. This is the second married couple, and this is the first married couple. So T is a male over here. I'll write male. We don't know the gender of R yet. And S also happens to be a male. So R happens to be a female. So R is the wife of S. Q is the wife of P. So let's go through the options. Which one of the following is correct? R is U's husband is wrong. S is in fact U's. R is in fact wife of S. Second option says R is S wife. That is the right option. So that is option B. So R is S wife becomes the right option. See, these kind of questions, sometimes it can take a lot of time. It can consume like hours together. So it's better to avoid it if you're not comfortable with it. And then you can solve it at the later part. So let's go to the next question. Let's go to the 20th question. If in a particular year 12th January is a Sunday, then which of the following is correct? Option A, 15 July is a Sunday if the year is a leap year. 15 July is a Sunday if the year is not a leap year. C, 12 July is a Sunday if the year is a leap year. Or D, 12 July is not a Sunday if the year is a leap year. So what we need to do here is that we need to count the number of days which follows 12th of January. There are two situations here. One is the year being a leap year. So let's assume that the year is a leap year. Okay, we are in a leap year situation. 12th January is Sunday. 12th of Jan is a Sunday. See, supposingly today is 12th of Jan. So when would the next Sunday fall? The next Sunday would fall on 12 plus 7 is equal to 19th Jan, right? So you agree with that. So let's count the months. Let's write down the months which come between Jan and July. So here I am in Jan, then Feb, then March, April, May, June and July. So we are looking at two dates, 15th July and 12th of July. We'll come to that. So let's first focus on 12th of July. We are now at 12th of January. January has 31 days. February in a leap year has 29 days. March has 31 days. April has 30 days. May has 31 days. June has 30 days and July has 31 days. So to reach from 12 to 31, it takes me 19 days, right? And then I have all these days plus 29 days plus 31 days of March plus 30 days of April plus 31 days of May plus 30 days of June plus 31 days of July. So to go from 12th of Jan to July, sorry, this should not be 31. This July part should be only 12 because we are reaching 12th of July. We are not completing the entire month of July. In the months which are intervening, February, March, we complete that entire month to reach July. right? So we'll just write here 12th of Jan. From 12th of Jan we reach 12th of July, and in between we parse so many days. We parse all these days: 19 plus 29 plus 30 plus 31 plus 30 plus 12. So now we will add these days. Okay, so when I add 19 plus 29 plus so on, I would get, you can add it yourself manually, I'll do it mentally for myself. So plus 31 plus 30 plus 31 plus, erase it out to avoid confusion. Okay, so plus 31 plus 30 plus 12. So what is this answer? This is 19 plus 29, 48 plus 31 is 49, 79 plus 61 is 140, 170, 182. So we have passed 182 days to reach 12th of July. Okay, so what day is 12th of July in a leap year? You have to take a 182 modulus of 7. Modulus of 7 is the remainder. The remainder which we get when you divide 182 by 7, we have to find out this remainder. Okay, so 182 by 7 is what? If you can have 2 here, then you have 42 here, then you have 6. It's exactly divisible by 7. So if 12th of January, the remainder becomes 0. So if 12th of January is a Sunday, then that would also mean that 12th of July is also Sunday, is equal to 12th of July is Sunday. Okay, so we now know that 12th of July is a Sunday. So let's check the options. If you see the option C, they say that 12th of July is a Sunday if the year is a leap year, and that's the right option. C becomes the right option here. So in these kind of questions, it can be a bit lengthy, but this is the only way you can work it out. So supposingly, instead of having 182, you know that I got it as 182. Instead of getting 182, say I got 184, the number of intervening days. Okay, so what I would do in that case? In that case, I would know that 184 by 7, the remainder would be 2, right? So this 2 I would add to Sunday. So Sunday plus 2 is like, if you add Sunday 1 to Sunday, Sunday plus 1 will give you Monday. Okay, and Sunday plus 2 will give you Tuesday. So if that number was 184 instead of 182, then 12th of July would have been a Wednesday. Sorry, would have been a Tuesday. Okay, let's go to the next question. Let's go to the 28th question. Two statements S1 and S2 are given below with regard to four numbers P, Q, R, S followed by a question. The statements are S1, R is greater than P as well as Q. S2, S is not the largest one. So we have to find out among four numbers P, Q, R, S, which one is the largest. Options, S1, whether S1 alone would be sufficient to answer this question, or S2 alone would be sufficient, or we need both S1 and S2 together to answer this question. But neither S1 alone or S2 alone is sufficient, or S1 and S2 together, even after having S1 and S2, we are not able to answer this question. Is that the case? That's what D says. S1 and S2 together are not sufficient to answer this question. So our target is to find out which is the largest one among P, Q, R and S. Okay. So the first statement tells us that R is greater than P as well as Q, this statement. So let me write it down here. R is greater than P as well as Q. I'll write it as P by Q or P by Q because we don't know whether among P and Q which one is the larger digit, which is a larger number. So it can be either P or Q, and here also it can be the P or Q. So from S1 we cannot tell which is the largest number because we don't know where S stands. We don't know the position of this S. So S1 is not sufficient to answer the question. Let's go to the second statement. S2 is not the largest one. So this does not tell us anything. It just tells us that S is somewhere, there is a largest number somewhere, largest, and S is not one of them. S is lesser than the largest one. Okay, S is not the largest number. So now let's take both the statements together. The first statement we have worked it out here, which tells us that R is greater than P as well as Q. Okay, and it also tells that S is not the largest digit. If S was the largest digit, S was somewhere over here. Assuming that this arrow marks moving from a smaller number to a larger number. So S should have been somewhere over here if S was the largest one, but S is not the largest number. So S will be somewhere in front of R. Okay, so what it means is that R is the largest one, is the largest number. So we can answer their question which one is the largest number when we take S1 and S2 together. But S1 alone was not sufficient to answer the question, which we have seen, and S2 alone was also not sufficient to answer the question. So option C becomes the right answer. S1 and S2 together are sufficient to answer the question, but neither S1 alone nor S2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. Okay, let's go to the 29th question, which is similar to the last question. Two statements S1 and S2 are given below, followed by a question. The statement S1 is n is a prime number. S2, n leaves a remainder of 1 when divided by 4. The question says n is a unique natural number between 10 and 20. Then what is n? So we have one information here, that is n is between 10 and 20. We have to find the value of n. So let's see whether S1 alone solves our problem. Okay, let's list out all the prime numbers between 10 and 20, that is 11, 13, 17 and 19. So n can be any of these. So we don't get to a solution, we don't get to an answer. So S1 alone is not sufficient to answer our question. Just the information that n is a prime number doesn't help us, because we are having 4 prime numbers between 10 and 20. Which one should we choose? Okay, so let's go to the next one, S2. Whether S2 alone is sufficient to answer this question. N leaves a remainder of 1 when divided by 4. This is a very general thing to say, because which are the numbers which leave a remainder of 1 when divided by 4? These are multiples of 4 plus 1, like 4 plus 1 is 5, right? If you divide 5 by 4, you will get a remainder of 1. Another multiple of 4 is 4 into 2, 8. If you add 1 plus 1, that is 9, and you divide it by 4, you will get a remainder of 1. So how many such numbers exist between 10 and 20 which give us a remainder of 1? These are the multiples of 4 plus 1. So I'll write it here, between 10 and 20, those would be numbers like 13 and 17. So we have two numbers again, right? 13 and 17 when divided by 4 leaves a remainder of 1. So S2 alone does not answer our query, it does not solve our purpose. S1 alone anyways doesn't, but if we combine S1 and S2, S1 says that the answer should be between 11, 13, 17 and 19, and S2 narrows it down to 13 and 17. but neither of which gives us a unique number. It doesn't say us whether n is 13 or n is 17. So S1 and S2 alone are not sufficient to answer this question. So, sorry, S1 and S2 together are not sufficient to answer the question. That is, option D is the right answer. I have not written the options to you. It is the same as the one earlier. That is, whether S1 alone, option B is S2 alone, option C is S1 and S2 together, S2 together, and option D is neither when it came together. S1 and S2 not sufficient together. Okay, so we can move on. Sufficient together. Let's move to the next question.